All right, we're here. Good old bonus episode, extra content, No Hangover podcast. As always, it's Eric, across from me, Jacob.
Yerp.
And we have our first guest outside of like
The fam.
who we know. My boy D.Law.
What's up?
Local rapper from Orlando. Yeah, we're here. I'm gonna talk, give you guys some good conversation, get into what he does. And yeah, so we're here. How you been, man?
Good, man. Everything's good.
I've been chilling. How you been? How's life been treating you?
Straight. Yeah.
Word. So, just to get into it, you're a rapper. He raps. I'm sure he does other things, but that's what we're promoting on here right now.
Yeah.
Just to get things started, what got you into, wanting to rap, wanting to be an artist?
Started like when I was 8. So I was like 8 years old.
Damn.
My dad, he's really into hip hop, so he always played and shit. And I just started writing rhymes at 8, and I'll come in, I'll be like, Dad, what rhymes with this? What rhymes with that? And then he'd be like, I don't know, because my dad's not really like artist.
Yeah.
He played football and stuff, so he's into sports. And that's how I started, I guess. So, and then ever since then, I've been doing it. I've been writing. Whoever's my friends, I try to get them to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way it grew your passion. You just kept going with it.
Yeah, just kept going. Like, I love listening to instrumentals, when I get the vibe. And
I will say that, though. Listening.
That's challenging, though. The freestyle days, you just put on an instrumental, see what comes to mind. That's challenging shit.
Honestly, but I will say this. For your latest album that you just dropped, just listen. Go ahead, listen to it on Apple Music, all that. But the first thing that really caught me, and we talked about this before, is that you have a good ear for picking beats. I really appreciate the first thing that I noticed, and we talked about this, is that I'm more of an instrumental. I like listening to beats more than anything. Yeah. So that's the first thing that caught me, is that you do have a good ear for having a good diversity of different beats and shit like that. So that was something that I noticed that I picked up on when I first started listening to it. And if you want to get into that, just listen. What was the inspiration behind that? What got you to want to drop that specific piece of work?
Well, so how it was, like, I've been writing rhymes since I was about 8. And then all throughout my life I write. And then like about 14, my homeboy Nino, he had he did like guitar and all that. So he took me to his studio.
Okay.
And that was the first time I recorded, 9th grade. And then I liked the song, but it was kind of like, it was our first one, so it was like experimental. Yeah. And like people was like, oh, it sound like Disney or whatever, because the beat was like handmade and stuff. So pretty much I just kept like recording, and I started taking serious at like 18, and that's why I say in my song To the Top, ever since a teen I had big dreams, and then since 18 I've been on a mission. So that that's when I really started.
Yeah.
And so since then I've been making, I just make songs, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna put it out, put it on the album, get it out. Let's see what's going on, because I always have my stuff on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And then I just met somebody, and he showed me how to get a distribution. Yeah. And then that's what happened. And then I took songs from years ago,
from different
recently,
work.
Yeah, and I just put it, and I was like, you know what, fuck all the talking.
I low-key heard it, to be honest.
Oh, you heard what the progression?
I felt like for instance, like Eric was saying, the diversity on it.
Yeah.
I felt like that could possibly came from different times, because like there was some shit on it, I was like, damn, I feel like I've heard a similar beat. Like I was like, okay, this beat's pretty hard. And then like you'd be flowing on it, and then the next song kind of be like more of a beat I felt like would be a little more modern type shit, like more of like came out, last past 2 years type deal. Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
But I'll fuck with it. Fuck with some of this shit.
That's what happened. So.
Don't lie to you, had to give it a second listen, because I'm quick with music. I'm kind of like E. I don't really listen to words at first.
Yeah.
I'm strictly like more of like beats. That's why like they all crack on me, because I like a lot of trap beats. Yeah. I just like upbeat shit. Like that's more of my style. I like upbeat shit. I don't really care what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah.
But then like if I'm digesting music, of course I gotta give it a second listen, a third listen, kind of actually try to understand what is being said and how it's being said. And like for instance, some of your bars, like you were just talking before we got on the mic about like rhyming and shit.
Yeah.
some of your bars, like, it wouldn't rhyme the very next word. It would be like 2 bars down. You're like, oh shit! Like, it came full circle type deal. I was like, all right.
I mean, the wordplay's there. The wordplay's there. I mean, I feel like the rapping ability is there. I mean, you said you've been doing this since you're 8 years old, and you're what, like 27, 28 now?
Yep. 28.
So I mean, 20 years. I mean, that you're able to hone in on the skill and really take that shit to the next level. I mean, to start probably the song that hit me the most was Same Shit, because I'm going through some similar shit right now with just going through it with the chick, kind of like going back and forth and shit. So listening to that, especially when I was listening back to it today, it hit differently, because when I first met you, it wasn't really like, there really wasn't much going on there. Fast forward a couple months, now your boy's going through it, so that shit definitely hit. So listening to that and like kind of the hook really is we're all we're all good when the only thing we have in common is when we're in bed together, that we share the same bed. Everything's all good when I'm in between your legs and shit like that. Like, that was like that, like just listening to that and the shit that I've been going through the past couple of days with this chick is like, damn, like the man's in my head right now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it was that, and then Drop It For Me right after. I was like, this motherfucker.
In that, on that specific song though, what was the inspiration on that? Like, is it something that is that one of the songs that you pulled from a while ago, or is that something that you made more recently?
What, Same Shit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the most recent song.
For real?
Well, yeah, one of the most, because I'm in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Like, shit, I'm married pretty much, but yeah, so there's times, it's hard times. I've been with my girl for like 8 years, so
Word.
9 years. So there's always ups and downs.
Power to you, bro.
Honestly, shit, my longest is fucking 6 months consecutive.
Yeah,
so I mean, like, that shit, like I said, that shit was what really resonated with me as far as on that song. There was another song on there. I think it was a little. There you go. You hit it. There's a bar on there. I'll pull it up. Only different in races is places. Crazy that difference. The difference is hating and only difference in the race is the place. Crazy that the difference in that. Jesus.
The only difference in races is places. Crazy that's the difference between loving and hate.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
I got it right here.
God,
but I'm honestly, I'm over here stumbling, bumbling. But like, given everything that's been going on in the past year.
Shit.
The way that you were able to word that and play with it, like I hadn't heard it been worded like that before. So that was, I feel like I said, I feel like your wordplay is there. I feel like the foundation is there for you. It's just now it's just about getting noticed and getting yourself out there.
Yeah, and definitely that. Because that's all races are, man. We all human.
Yeah. And
then what changes the physical is adaptations to different land. So. Based off of like the History Channel, they say like everybody started on the Pangea, Africa, and then migrated out, and then in Asia or whatever, the sunlight is like brighter because it's higher elevation, flex off the mountains and shit, so the eyes get extra skin, makes it look squinty. Yeah, skin gets more pale. You come over to Africa, you need more melanin in your skin. It's darker.
The sun is fucking beating down on your ass.
It's what is it, Darwinism or Newton? One of them.
Darwinism, evolution, and shit like that. Yeah.
So it's all we all human, all same.
But shit. I mean, shit. There's not a lot. The thing is that there's not a lot of like rappers just in general that are talking about shit like that. Everybody's just looking for a turn up. Everyone's just looking to hop on a wave and shit and do that shit. And it's refreshing when you hear somebody that's rapping real shit and like trying to get something across with their music. Yeah. When that's not what you really hear.
Rapping about real life situations, real life conversations, shit that's going on, in the world today, basically, versus getting money, selling drugs, fucking bitches.
And that shit's
it's all fun shit, but like, come on.
That's the easy shit to rap about though. When you got somebody that's trying to put out substance, and I feel like that's what really should be getting, promoted, being put across, shit like that. But I mean, we ain't the ones really pushing shit, or at least we're trying to. We're trying to with our podcasts and shit like that. We're trying to put real people on. We're trying to
give y'all the truth.
Push,
but
push the message, push a good message. But
some people just don't like the truth though. So
yeah, it's true. The truth is hard to face.
It's a hard pill to fucking swallow for sure.
Truth hurts
for sure. But you're from Orlando, so where exactly from Orlando are you from? Like where you grew up, all that shit.
Well, I was born in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
and then Abington, like right outside of Philly, and all my family's from Philadelphia. So like my dad's side and my mom's side is from York. So we moved down. I moved down here when I was like 4, and I lived all over Orlando. So like when we first came down here, we moved to Rosemont. Then my parents split up. My dad moved to Pine Hills, so we lived there for a few years. Then I lived in Oviedo, and y'all know like I was supposed to go to Lake Howell. I went to Tuscaloosa and shit. And then I ended up living in Avalon, and then Lake Nona, and then now I'm back in Avalon. So
yeah, so you're everywhere.
Yeah, I've been over
all over Orlando. Shit.
Yeah, I know it, man.
Yeah, like you said,
you went east to west, like
east, west, north, south. Oviedo's north, Lake Nona south.
Yeah.
There you go.
Lake Howell too. How long did you go to Lake Howell for again?
I didn't go to Lake Howell.
You were supposed to though.
Yeah,
right?
I went to Tuscaloosa, and then like that. My 8th grade year, I ended up moving with my dad to and it was Timber Creek was the school. So.
Yeah, I figured you said Avalon. I figured you went to Timber Creek.
Yep, I live right across the street. I used to walk, so.
That's an easy fucking walk.
Yeah, you think to that hot ass sun, come home drenched.
Shit, I feel it.
Honestly.
I walked home probably 3 times in my entire life, but I live far from Lake Howell.
Yeah,
I lived like at least 6-7 miles.
There's like,
it was not fun.
Damn, really? That far from Lake Howell?
I lived
7 miles,
all the way down Redbug. Then you got to turn.
I
then
guess
you got to
you're
turn.
right. Yeah, when I think about it, you're driving in a car. It don't seem that far.
Correct.
But
past the park, you keep going. You keep going.
Damn, that is right.
Deep.
Fuck that. Yeah,
and this is at 2:00 in the afternoon when you get out of fucking high school.
Yeah,
talking drenched.
That's the hottest time. Yeah.
Never did that again. I had to do it like 2 more times, but later in life.
I mean, fuck. You get used to that shit though.
Nah.
I mean, like it's hot, but like I don't know. I work in the sun, so it's like.
I'm used to the heat. We're all used to the heat, but it still sucks to be in the heat.
I mean,
it's a blessing. All right, it's a blessing and a curse.
I'd rather be in the heat than in the cold.
Exactly.
That's why I said it was both.
Because fuck, like, man, you could take off layers, and fucking, you're fine. I don't know. The cold for me, it just that shit gets in your bones and fucking sits there all day. Especially
the
like,
wind cuts. It's like, oh, it's just bad.
Especially
bad
like
times.
when I lived in Pennsylvania. That shit was. Man, it was. I mean, I liked it. It was cool. I feel like it was a good time and shit like that. But that cold, man, that shit, like I said, it sunk into your bones and it was just with you all fucking day.
Yeah.
Like even getting in the shower, being high, whatever. That shit just did not go away. Maybe it's just cause I'm, born here, used to this shit, and it ain't nothing. That's what I do. I'm in the heat all day. So I don't know, but.
That cold is killing. Freeze you up, make you stiff.
For real.
I'll take the hot any day.
Fucking takes out the pigment.
Honestly, you too. When you came back from Washington, pale as fuck.
I had never been whiter in my life. Like I'm pretty white right now, but that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was pale
crazy.
as fuck. But
I've never gotten to experience something like that.
Yeah.
Wild.
So you just had a show not too long ago.
Yeah.
How often are you doing shows and shit like that?
Shit, whenever I can get them. So, but that was like that was my first one in like a year, and then now I got this other one coming up for the Source release party. It's in Atlanta, the 23rd. So yeah, anybody can go up there too.
For real?
Yeah, I post all the dates and addresses on Instagram, but yeah, I'm excited about it though.
For real, it's the opportunity right there.
Yeah.
Take advantage of that shit. What is it that you're looking forward to most in going to Atlanta and doing those shows and shit like that?
Most like the experience, because I'm gonna go with my brother and a couple of my homeboys. So, I'm just I just want to experience to see what's going on, get into that competition.
Yeah.
Take off the competition's head.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
You ever been to Atlanta before?
Yeah. My brother used to play basketball. He traveled, so I went up there like that. But I only went twice. I maybe went to Six Flags.
There's a Six Flags in there?
I've never been to Six Flags.
Yeah. I've been to Six Flags there's one in Connecticut, and I think there's one in Jersey too. I've been to 2 of them.
I think there's one in Texas.
They're all over the place. I know there's one like out in Ohio or some shit like that or whatever. But Six Flags they're all over the country and shit. But
yeah, man.
The old man. Great commercials.
Oh yeah, that dancing food.
That was my shit.
Man.
Except when it came on at like 2, 3 in the morning, you're like, oh god. Six Flags commercial. This guy's just going hard. You're like, fuck. Turn off your TV, go back to sleep. You're like, damn.
I mean, it seems like you got a lot of athletes in your family.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I played ball too, but yeah, I'm pretty
Basketball?
raw on the court.
Football?
Yeah, basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of lanky.
This guy.
A little tall.
This guy's shit, but
Man, I'm
you
all
play with
right.
me one day then.
Man, I'm an athlete, so I can hold my own. Fuck what you heard.
Where you
I
play?
mean, he is athletic, but
You still play like?
shit, I haven't played ball in a while, but
Man, let him talk his shit.
I mean,
Let him talk his shit.
it's probably been like, well, I fucked around. Nah, I played actually not too long ago. We're just shooting around a little bit after the gym,
Yeah.
but I haven't like ran in a long time.
Yeah. I used to play at Redbug. I still go there sometimes.
Shit, you play?
Redbug is like the fucking spot right
No,
now.
at Boston Hill too.
Boston Hill.
be lit. Yeah.
See, I don't really like playing outside though, and maybe it's just because I'm not that good. I'm all right, but playing outside is just too many other elements. Fucking the court. I was playing out because we went to 24-hour fitness for a while, and I just got really spoiled and used to playing indoors and shit.
Yeah.
And then trying to make that transition to go back playing
Well,
outside.
plus it's like a whole different court atmosphere. I mean, you got more bounce when you're in an indoor court than versus outdoor. The concrete, it's unforgiving on them knees.
Yeah, it is.
Indoor courts, you can kind of rise up a little higher. But yeah, I used to play a Redbug a lot. And what's different about outside versus inside, you are playing the elements. So you're shooting with the wind, against the wind.
And those double rims.
Yeah, correct.
Too.
I was gonna say you're usually
those double
playing.
rims are fucking.
You gotta
be
my
wet.
shooting,
You gotta
my
be-
shooting
exactly.
percentage goes way down.
you gotta be wet. You ain't getting no shooters bounce on those shits because
But it's like
just unforgiving. out there.
Redbug is like the fucking spot now. There's so many like YouTubers that go out there and shit like that.
No,
like,
that is true. Yeah, I have
yeah,
seen.
like that shit gets crowded. I don't know when that happened or like, but like the past like couple months or shit. Like,
you go out there anytime between like this time right here between like 6 o'clock and like 9, it's crowded as fuck. You probably would be waiting to get down.
But like, when did all those YouTubers start coming over here and
Just when
pick Redbug out of all places?
What do they do?
There's
there's been a couple viral videos of like them random full court games when like a popular hooper will pull up and they'll make like a little clip like, oh, I'm gonna bust you, and they'll pull up from like a little bit inside half. Because Redbug's not. I mean, you've been to Redbug. It's not a big court. That's like it's damn near a college 3 pulling up from half.
Yeah.
So it's like it's nothing too crazy. Well, I would say it's more of an NBA 3 pulling up from like half, I guess.
Yeah, but
it's nothing too crazy, and it's just they get the crowd. There's a lot of people, so people were going wild. Little viral clip.
Yeah, but it was actually like because I looked. Like one of them popped up on my Instagram and shit, and I clicked on the dude's profile, and like he played basketball overseas and shit, and like he's got like.
But people do that at Redbug all the time. Like when I used to go there with like Josh and Moy and all them, they used to rent out the backcourts. There was fucking like 4 of those dudes played D1. Another 2 played overseas.
Maybe I'm just behind.
One of them was in the G League. Like I was like, oh, they were hoopers. Like there were real hoopers that go out there. That's just it's a court to run on. Simple as that. If you're trying to hoop, you're trying to hoop. Simple as that.
I'm not much of a hooper though. I'm more of a football player. I mean, soccer was my first sport, like my first team sport. My mom wouldn't let me play football growing up because she didn't want me getting hit, concussion, the stigma with football. But once I got into high school, like it's like, come on, like let me play, and then she finally kind of broke. I mean, I was scared. I didn't like hitting. I played defense my first year, and I did not like. It took me like probably a solid like 4 or 5 games until I actually like got my first big hit, and I'm like, oh shit, like this is fun. I could hit people hard and it's not really gonna hurt me. So I just started, and like that's when I really lost my fear for tackling and hitting and shit like that. But hey, whatever. It was it was a good time. It was a good time. But yeah, man. I mean, Atlanta shows, music. I mean, who as far as like artists, bigger artists, who do you like style your type of you're rapping off of anybody, or are you just trying to you're getting your own flow, trying to figure shit? I mean, obviously you are, but like is there anybody that you kind of look up to, mold your style after?
Not really. Like I mean, I listen to I listen from all the way from Goody Mob to Eminem to Nas to J. Cole. Like I listen to even Gucci, he got some good shit.
Yeah.
So like I listen and absorb from everybody, and no like particular influence, I would say. But yeah,
that's good though. You have your own path. You can look for. I mean, that means basically like you find inspiration from yourself and from your own like life and life experiences. You're not necessarily looking to somebody for experience or for motivation or any of that, but it's good shit.
Yeah, I use like life. Life is motivation. People I'm around, stories and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You religious? I just cause straight into it. No, just cause like I was listening through you, like listening through your music, listening through your shit. There's a lot of like references to God and shit like that. But there's this one verse that you said that, there's one bar that the only God that you really believe in is the one that's in your head.
Oh, yeah. You talking about the same shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I mean by that is, okay, I'm not really religious, but I'm spiritual. So like,
that's kind of the boat I'm in.
Yeah. So I came to a realization that God is like you know, I don't know, I know for me and most people, like when you're growing up, you just think God is like a man in the sky.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a man. But then when you know, as I got older, like I started realizing, like, you know, it's energy. It's like an energy. It's like God and the devil is like the same thing, like two sides of a token, yin and yang. So it's like it's all energy. It's like where you draw it from. But it's coming from the same place. So I think it lives through all living things, not just living things. It could be inanimate objects too, because like, you know, everything's made of atoms. Yeah. Coincidence, first man is an atom, and that's why I think the Bible is like a bunch of stories, metaphorical, and you know, just like it's like metaphorical and just to get you like, you know, it's like so you can learn, like it's good knowledge and stuff. But the Quran has good stuff. And every I
mean, if you look through religions, like a lot of them have the same type of like, you know, same type of stories, same type of like, you know, values, same type of like, you know, do good and good will come, do bad and, you know, bad will come, shit like that. So I mean, I'm in that same
yes and no.
What's yours? You
I mean, I wouldn't say like necessarily religious, but like, I mean, I grew up, for instance, I did go to church when I was younger, and then there was like a period in my life where I didn't go to church at all. Yeah. And then I kind of found my way back into church on my own. Yeah. And so like, I'll go to church. I mean, I go to a Baptist church, and like, for instance, a Baptist church is different than like Catholic church or a Christian church, because like, at least this church I go to, for instance, the church I go to, they'll like legit just preach from the Bible. You know how like most churches or most people, pastors will try to like, I mean, everyone tries to make it more relatable and like bring in a story or like an event or something from like somebody's life to make it at least more relatable. Yeah. But they'll show like, which is crazy, a lot of like shit in the Bible can like be traced to then or versus now. Like it's like a lot of these events actually happen, you know? Yeah. So it's like, oh shit. And a lot of things they say, I mean, it all depends, honestly, how long I've been at a church, because sometimes you go to church and shit just hits different. Yeah. You go in there, you hear like something straight from the Bible. Like they didn't change anything. You read it yourself. They said it, and you're like, damn.
I mean, a lot of it too is like, you know, what you're going through in your life and shit like that. True. Like, you know, like, I mean, kind of going back to music a little bit, you know, there's songs that I'll listen to and I just, you know, I like the song, but it just doesn't really like.
It doesn't stick at the moment. It doesn't stick,
but then, you know, however much time passes, you know, I'm just, my phone's on shuffle and I hear the song, and depending on what I'm going through, just like that same shit, like, depending on what I'm going through, it's like, damn, now that shit's really fucking hitting me. I mean, the same thing with the Bible stuff. It's like, you know, you might have seen something a million times, but it's not going to click until you're going through something similar, or you're going through something in your life that shit's really going to resonate with you.
Correct. Really hit hard on that certain subject, and then you're like, oh.
No, but I feel that. I'm definitely more on that spiritual shit.
Yeah, so like when I say in my head, I just mean like, you know, like that's why I got like good angel and a bad angel on each arm, because it's like you're conscious, like, and I feel like that voice, because you can hear yourself without using your physical senses. Like you can say in your head, "No Hangover podcast," and you can hear it without using your ears. Your head, that's your spirit. So I feel like the spirit is all connected. We're all one. It's just different. You know, it's like different vessels. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. Like, but yeah, I pull from everything, because like my stepmom was a Jehovah's Witness. I went to church. My grandma's a Muslim, so I got like pull from all different kind of places.
Yeah, I feel that, because I mean I didn't really go to church growing up like that. Like my grandparents on my dad's side are very religious. They're Catholic. Yeah. They never really tried to push it on me, but like there were times that, you know, they would ask, more my grandfather, he'd ask me, he's like, you know, well, you know, why isn't that you don't want to go to church so much, or this, that, whatever. When it was, my sister was getting her first communion and shit, and then my mom asked me if I wanted to get him, like, nah, I'm good. he asked me, well, like, you know, why don't you want to get it and shit like that. To me, like, you know, I have nothing against religion at all. Like, you know, I'm a person that I feel like you need to have some type of faith. Like, if you don't have any type of faith, then, you know, like,
what are you living for?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like there's just certain things that is people are just looking for a sense of community in a sense. Yeah. People are just looking for you know, to exactly be a part of something, to, you know, be something, to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And for me, it's like, man, if it's through religion, if it's through spirituality, you know, me personally, it's like, who gives a shit? As long as you're, you know, doing something positive, trying to do good by people, trying to, you know, leave a positive impact behind, then it's like, you know, follow what you want to follow as long as you're trying to do good by yourself and do good by others.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
like, we know what's wrong, what's right.
Exactly.
You know, you get the feeling. If you about to go murk somebody and they didn't deserve it, you gonna feel it. If you don't fuck somebody's wife, like, you know, you feel it.
Yeah.
And then,
unless that person deserved it.
Even then, though, it's like
you still. I hope you feel bad. At least your conscience should weigh on you a little bit.
It does. I mean, you know, we've all done some dirt. We've all done some dirty shit that, you know, maybe at the time it felt good and it's like, fuck, like, got you. But then you sit back, look at it. Maybe, you know,
it's
a day later. Yeah, maybe it's a month later. Maybe it's 5 years later. That shit's gonna like. Definitely could have handled that a lot better, but you know, that's
some petty shit.
That's
here
part
and
of
there
the
and you're like, shit.
That's part of the growing process, though.
It is part of life. I mean, you can't necessarily learn from an experience unless you've had that experience.
Exactly.
And sometimes, I mean, like you said, energy, or if God did it, whatever the case may be. Sometimes certain things are presented to you that you have to go through, and you come out the other side, and you're like, okay, I see what I did back then versus what I'm doing now. And that's kind of how you know, okay, I'm progressing as a person. I'm learning from this. I'm challenging myself to do better at these things. And, you know, be the better version of yourself.
That's the goal, man. That's the goal. Be the better version of yourself. But part of that is, you know, like you said, experience in life. You know, fucking chasing shit, chasing dreams, fucking trying to.
Well, chasing dreams is good. But, for instance, a lot of things that's wrong with, like, our culture nowadays is they're chasing, like, celebrities and wanting to be like somebody else, you know, when it's like the only person you should be challenging or, you know, chasing is the future you. You should be challenging yourself to be better. You know, chasing. Who said it? Matthew McConaughey. He did like he accepted an award one time. And they're like, who do you want to thank? He was like, I want to thank myself 10 years or 5 years from now, or something like that. And they were like, oh, what made you do this? And he was like, myself 5 years from now. And then he like goes into it, and he keeps going back, and he'll even look at his clips that he said when he said it, and he was like, this is how much I've changed, and look at what I've done. Look what I've done for the community. Look at what I've done for my family. Look at what I've done for myself. And I was like, damn, all right, that hit me. I was like, okay, I'm trying to challenge myself in those ways.
Wherever you can get the inspiration from, man. Wherever you can get the inspiration from. I mean, at this point, that one.
Well, hold up, before you move on, like that line I said, I don't live by the Bible because that book's dead. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty much saying, like, okay, all right, first of all, I feel like you can't fully trust the Bible because it's been passed through so many hands. Mm-hmm. And then there was like a group of enlightened ones or whatever back then, Council of Nicaea, you can look it up. They sat down with the Bible, and it was like scientists and political figures, and they manipulated it. So, mm-hmm. like, it's
like a game of telephone, essentially.
Yeah, it's like, who, like, could I trust that? Like, a lot of them sound like Disney stories, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like, not to shit on it or nothing, but I'm just saying, like, it don't sound like realistic. How come nothing's happened like that then? Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's more like a there's a God, there's one power, there's one God, but you gotta like channel it through you. Yeah. So, and I feel like religion is like control.
It is a little bit. I mean, I feel that. I definitely, you know. There is a sense of like, you know, like kind of we're just trying to get everybody to follow the, you know, push this narrative and, you know, stay on the straight and narrow and kind of, you know, be sheep, follow this path and, you know, don't stray or else, you know, you'll be this and
it's
whatever.
The shepherd, yeah.
But again, like to that point though, on the same side of the coin, like although I'm not very religious, there's a lot of good qualities that come from religion. And there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of great people that I know that are very religious that...
Yeah, you know, definitely not shitting on no religion.
No.
But yeah. And then also it's like, what was I going to say? Oh, and you know, like, and then, you know, I don't know all religions, but I know pretty much if you believe in anything else, it's like, no, that's wrong. You got to believe in this. Like,
correct. I mean, there is that.
There's truth in everyone.
Yeah, for sure. And again, that's always been kind of my thing, because I'm always kind of had a problem with authority in a sense. And like when you're telling me, and the thing that gets me is that like they're telling you that there's only one way. This is the only way to, you know, you get accepted to heaven, this, that, whatever. But like, there's so many different ways to do so many different things. How can there only be one way to get into heaven?
Only God can judge me, not no one else. And then not only that, we see who's winning. If we're gonna do like what's closed around the year? Christmas. What's that? Christian. What do we always see? Easter and all that. You know what I mean? Like, and that people don't even know the origins of Easter. Like, did y'all ever think why is there an egg and a bunny? Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Nothing. But most of these holidays nowadays are fucking cash grabs.
Easter,
and they bite off like Egyptian cultures and stuff like that. Like the rabbit's supposed to symbolize fertility, and the egg represents fertility. The rabbit represents reproduction, and then it's a ritual they used to do.
Be fucking like a
and
rabbit.
kill babies and shit, and like they like dyed babies in blood, something like that. You gotta look it up, and that's why they dye eggs and shit. Yeah,
damn,
like we don't even know what we be.
Dark.
Yeah, we don't know what we be participating in. So people just gotta be woke, and that's what I mean. The God in my head, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, a lot of people though, like I said, that shit's just a cash grab at this point. Like in this country, everything revolves around money. So if you can make $1 off of it, bet, run with it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you reference that a lot too, as far as things that go on in this country. People, wanting to get money. People are just kind of being greedy and shit like that. So
yeah, we worship money. Yeah, that's the real God.
It's unfortunate. Honestly, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I'll say this. I've said it before. Pussy and money make the world go round.
Yeah.
All wars are either started because they want power, money. It's a struggle, or hey, you got my girl. I'm about to fuck you up.
True.
That's the quickest way to get men fucking riled up and ready to fucking fight.
Like Dave Chappelle said, he said, guys will live out of boxes if girls will give you pussy. Like, oh, you live out of boxes. Like, nobody gonna be trying to get the best car and best house. Like, it's all a game, man.
It is, but
even homeless people, they can say, I don't worship money, but you over there begging for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you go to work, you worship it. Like, that's what
it's
it is.
unfortunate. I mean, it is. I mean, it's embedded in us at a young age. It is. It's instilled in our head. I mean, from school, it's like you're gonna go to work, do this, get paid, go home, go to your family, be happy, and that's it. Exactly. We kind of get brainwashed.
Yeah, correct. Go ahead, finish it.
No, I mean
brainwashing. Go ahead.
I mean, school brainwashes us to just be followers and not it doesn't really bro. I'm gonna get you started on it. Go ahead.
School shapes you to be a worker.
Yeah.
It doesn't shape you to be your own man. You're an entrepreneur, a go-getter. It doesn't shape you for that. It shapes you to, this is what you have to do for your day. These are your tasks. Finish them, then you can go home.
And if you think about it, it's the way it's laid out too. Especially like once you get into middle school, high school, you got your different periods of class. You got to be there on time. If you're not, you're gonna get in trouble. You get these tardies. 3 strikes. Detention, office, whatever
it's
the fuck.
Set up as
3
a 9
strikes.
to 5.
3 strikes at work, you're fired.
I wish my brother was here, man. My brother be deep as fuck. That's why I call him Prophet P. Because he get that prophet and he be prophesizing.
That's who's featured on your first song?
Yeah, I didn't. I need to put it on the thing.
Well, because I checked. There's another version on it that's on Apple Music. That
of mine?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
For you right now. Shit.
Another version?
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing, but it has 16 songs and it has the.
Yeah, because I did 2 different districts.
Yeah, so
same.
But different.
yeah, that's my brother. He be on that deep shit. He gonna start a podcast too.
For real?
But that's what I was gonna say with your institutionalized. Yeah. Like you said, it's like jail. Like when you're in school, you gotta act a certain way. There's a lunch period. Bell here. They can't leave that room at this time. They're getting you ready for prison or the workforce. Same thing, the workforce. You gotta go to lunch at this time. Yeah. So, and I got daughters. You hear it in my music. I have 3. So like I tell them all the time, like. They're in their school and stuff. Yeah, like play the game, get the A's. You can get all A's. Yeah. That's easy. But just know, like, that don't make you, like, you just because you have all A's, you can be dumb as hell.
Correct.
Like, I know a lot of people have all A's.
Doesn't make you a better person.
You gotta know how to use your brain to push you forward. Like,
to that point too, you could be rich as fuck and be dumb as hell. Like, money don't make you smart.
Man, most millionaires were high school dropouts.
Yeah.
And a lot of
because most of them see what it really is. Like,
I mean, you're talking to two dudes that were not the best at school. I'll tell you that right now. Like, hey, I barely got by. I barely got by in that bitch. So I mean, you're preaching to the choir right now. Like, that shit is,
school is definitely not a good time. Well,
it's a topic
to talk about, but it's not correct.
You gotta use it as a tool.
That's basically all you gotta use it as.
Network. Get in what you gotta do. Learn what you can. There is good knowledge in books and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm always down to learn, and that was actually my biggest issue with school. I loved learning.
Yeah.
I loved learning new shit. I love learning a new skill. I love learning how to do something. Mm-hmm. What I didn't like is how it was presented to me, and how, this is what you have to do before we show you this. Like, why can't you just teach me something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do I have to jump through these hoops for like stupid like little shit? Like little grades or like. Just how school works, like, you have to do this, and this. Okay, but the test isn't on this, and this. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, like little extra stuff.
Yeah, it's just like extra shit that it doesn't require me or my energy. I'm like, I'm not finna do homework on a subject I already know. Like, I just ain't finna
I was barely doing homework on.
I didn't do homework.
Shit, yeah. Homework was. That shit was.
It's like busy work,
shout out to everyone we went to school with, because I cheated like a motherfucker.
Essentially, that's what it is. It's a lot of it is just to keep you busy and kind of keep you, shut up, do this, and
it's to keep you at home. Homework to keep you at home doing that instead of being out fucking learning for yourself, doing what you're gonna do.
I will say that though, life is definitely the best teacher
to build somebody else's dream. That's all it is.
Yeah,
and it gets even deeper. Like, if you think about it, like, stuff they make us do, and it's like that, because you form your reality. Mm-hmm. Everybody, so the elite ones, the ones at the top, they're making certain things. They control the masses, and the media. Media is controlled by like the same people. They control
the narratives and shit.
Yeah, and it's shaping the reality we live in.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
and I mean, that's a lot of the issue that's now is that
jokes on them. Wake up every day, pick my own shit.
But I mean, that kind of goes into what we're talking about is that the school, the work, being on the straight and narrow, it gets people it closes their imagination.
Yeah.
So then you're not able, you think what you see, what you're being fed is what you're going to believe. You don't think outside the box anymore. You start just feeding into what you see, and what you see that's what reality is.
Mm-hmm.
Your reality isn't, that doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter what you believe in. I'm going to feed you what I need you to believe in to make me more money, essentially.
Exactly. Don't think out of the box.
Yeah, to keep people separated, to keep people divided, so then, it's easier to fucking, all right, these people don't like each other. I can win some votes. I can get some money. I could do this. I could do that, or whatever. And, as long as these people don't know that they really have the power, then, I can keep on doing what I'm doing and living my life. And
easier to conquer and divide.
Right from under your fucking nose. And people don't even fucking realize it. And the thing is that people will fucking say, oh, yeah, like, I know that, the government's trying to keep us divided and all this. And I know that. But then those are the same people that will turn around and continue to point fingers at bullshit.
Yeah.
And not, to me, like, for me, resolving shit within yourself and, resolving your problems within yourself. Like, people don't do that enough. People are always so quick to just point fingers at other shit. They're my problem. That's what's causing my issues. That's what's causing my problems, instead of like, what is it that I'm contributing to have my life the way it is right now?
When you point one finger, three are pointing back at you, man.
Facts. And
be the change you want to see. All the quotes.
Honestly, cliche as fuck, but it wouldn't be cliche if it wasn't true.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, so I mean, it is amazing to me how how easily people will, like I said, they're so quick to say the right things, but then when it comes time to actually do the right things and like live and do the right things, it's an impossible task for them. It's just like, I can't do it, and they start fucking pointing fingers at everybody else, and it's like they have a fucking overload in their head, and it's crazy to me. That shit is crazy to me, but like we've been saying, it is something that we're just kind of taught to do at this point.
Yeah, and we can't help it. We end up getting entangled in it. Even me, and everybody's gonna be a hypocrite
for sure.
Whatever you're preaching against or something, if you feel strongly and you can call it out on somebody else, because you're doing it. Like, takes one to know one.
Facts.
Yeah.
I mean,
or you thought about it.
Correct. You could not still be doing it, but For instance, how do you know so much about it? You probably were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I was going to say about school. Like, a lot of people stuck in certain ways are because they might have been so good in school or so good in this and that, but they were like more sheltered or more forced to do these things. So now when that's basically pulled out from them, now they don't know how to act. They don't know how to live. They don't know how to think for themselves. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest issue, that people don't know how to fucking think for themselves. A lot of people were book smart. How many people have common sense?
Exactly. Not a lot. Not enough.
It's fucking missing.
Not enough.
It's missing in a lot of people. And not even just like skill jobs and shit like that. Like that, I'm not even going to get into because that would be, I don't even want to talk about it because.
No, but even with like skills and stuff, like, well, that's why I respect that you have, your own business, like you and your family business and stuff.
Appreciate it, man.
And y'all have this podcast, like you're trying to branch out than the regular straight way.
Yeah.
But damn, what'd you just say? You were saying you were saying the structure. No.
Or about like just people, when shit gets pulled out from them, are like, yeah, basically structure. Like if people aren't given like, for instance, people usually are like better with tasks for the most part.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people think for themselves and are like, can get up and force themselves to do something that's uncomfortable.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. And you got to grow. Anytime you grow, it's discomfort.
Correct.
I don't know about y'all. When y'all was growing, was your knees killing you? My knees was fucking killing.
My whole body, kills me every day of my life.
Fuck.
I wake up sore as a motherfucker every day of my life.
Even females, when they have babies, that shit hurt. Any growth hurts. So
people are scared of that shit though, and that's crazy because like, just like this recent situation, like I have a tendency of going to people that I feel like
2.0.
We were just having this conversation last night.
Well, that's the simple version.
I have a tendency of like,
no, I'm just talking shit
in like relationships and shit like that. I have a tendency of not of going towards people that I see potential in but don't see it in themselves.
Yeah. And
I feel like if anybody can bring it out of them, I can, and I try and like shit like that. But again, I have a different type of mindset. I'm willing to be uncomfortable because in my life I've had to go through uncomfortable situations, and it's what I'm used to. It's I don't really know much else than being uncomfortable and having to grow and having to go and figure things out on my own. Back to your point, a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people have had just shit laid out for them. Exactly. And not they don't know what it is to be faced with a challenge and understand that yes, it's going to be hard right now, but get through it. See how much better you're going to be on the other side.
Stay in motion. Song I got. That's what I'm saying. You're right, because every blessing has a curse. Every curse has a blessing. And like you said, you don't even know what you be asking for most of the time. Mm-hmm. You could be saying, man, I want to have money. I want to have my own business. I want to have freedom. All right. Guys like, all right, you really want this? Because I'm going to give you what you need. You might need to lose somebody. You might need to lose your job. You may need to get broken somehow. And then you're going to come back stronger. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But if it's all laid out for you.
Shit's easy. That's the thing. People just want shit that's too easy. People want things that are just, they don't want to work for anything anymore.
We've said it on plenty of podcasts. Our society, people want that handout. The fucking sense of entitlement.
Entitlement, man. People just feel like they deserve shit. And
but we can make a whole nother podcast. They don't want to fucking,
they don't want to fucking work for shit. I mean, how?
The key is just like staying positive and keep moving. Because in anything that hits you, just look at it in a positive light. If you stay positive, like, all right, say you driving, your car break down, boom, you get a flat tire. You can't be like, shit, man, I got a flat tire. What the fuck am I doing? You look at it like, all right, shit, this is the opportunity. Somebody driving might see, asking for help. That might be the guy I need to get me to my next point in life. Yeah. That's how you gotta look at things, you know what I mean?
Which, I mean, to your point, I mean, I try to do that as much as I can. Like, I have a pretty positive outlook on life. Like, most people are like, how the fuck? Even Jordan will say it all the time. Like, I don't understand how you're so happy. Like, what? For instance, some of my work days are straight shit. Yeah. Straight shit. And I'm like the one smiling at work still, and people are like, even my coworkers are like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? I'm like, check his pocket. It's like depends on the day. But no, I'm just chilling. Like, I'm just keeping my positive outlook on it, because it's like it takes more energy, honestly, to like be angry at a situation or put more energy into something that is not needed. Yeah. Like, if I stay positive about something that was shitty, I could have plenty of energy for something good coming towards my life. I'm already there. I'm already excited about it. I'm with the shits with it. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I'm here. I'm ready. And then for the most part, shit has been happening for me like that because I feel because of my positive outlook. Because I look at shit optimistically. I'm like, people see a door closing, I see a door opening.
There you go. And that's what I was going to say. Anytime a door closes, there's another one open.
Yeah, like sometimes some situations, like you said, like they have to, some shit has to end. Yeah. As much as it might hurt you at the time, some shit has to end for you to be able to realize that was not a good situation for me, or I shouldn't have been doing this, or whatever the case may be. But then you see, oh, okay, I could be putting my energy or my effort into something over here, and then you watch that blossom into something special, you know?
Exactly.
Shit like that.
Man. Look at it like plants. Whatever plant you water, that's what's going to grow.
Correct.
You water worry's going to grow. You water fear's going to grow.
Honestly,
fear
that's a fucking great analogy.
Fear and worry haven't seen water in years. Years, I tell you. So
let them bitches die.
They've been dead.
And then fear, man, that's the next piece I'm dropping. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. So I got it from it was like a movie.
Heard it here first.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I get the
Hangover exclusive.
Yeah, I get the exclusive.
Yeah, we're still waiting on the air horns.
Because think about it. Fear, man, is just something you make up in your head. Like,
it's true.
Let's do something simple as a test. You'll be like, damn, what are you fearing? If you're nervous or you're fearing you're going to fail it. Really? You're fearing something else is going to come out of that fail. Now, if I fail it, I won't be able to get into college. Anything. Or like you're about to go in a fight. If you're fearing, what are you fearing? Because you're fearing you're going to lose. You're fearing the embarrassment. Just don't fear it. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, you're making it up in your own damn head. Like, just chill. That's how you chill. If you be like, it's just an illusion. So,
for the most part, man.
Speaking facts. Speaking facts, my brother.
Before I get out deep here,
shit. The deeper the better, honestly. That's
what she said.
I was going to do it.
Yeah, this shit hit me.
I was going to do it. I was like, I'm good.
But man, life is a fucking crazy thing for sure. Life is a fucking crazy thing. That shit every day, blessed that I'm able to wake up, blessed that, I have good people in my life, blessed that I'm able to fucking work, do this podcast, fucking meet people, network, do whatever the fuck we want to do. Because, that shit can be taken in a fucking instant. So, that being said, man, probably going to wrap shit up here in a little bit. Anything else you want to say, get off your chest, put out there, anything like that?
Let the people know where to follow you, where to look at.
Oh, yeah, plug yourself up, dog. So, plug yourself up.
You can follow on Instagram. It's D.Law 2 Raw. I got Twitter. It's D.Law 2 Raw. And then actually it's D.Law _2 Raw at Twitter. And
it's all right, our Twitter's not the best one.
Yeah, and then I appreciate y'all for making me come out. I got a show in Atlanta. I'm gonna post all the shit on Instagram. So anybody can come check it out.
Yeah, we'll repost this shit. We'll make sure to get you all fucking plugged up, get you your pub and all that shit. Definitely appreciate it.
And I got you with the No Hangover exclusive.
Boom. Oh shit, that's what's up.
I'm a boy.
Yeah,
that's what's up. I appreciate
rock you with the merch.
I appreciate it.
Honestly,
it's a gift for you. We appreciate having you on.
Yeah. And the last thing I'm gonna say
for sure.
is just listen. God gave you 2 ears, 1 mouth. Use them proportionally.
Facts.
Just listen.
Facts. There you go. Album out now. Just listen. It is a good listen. 15 songs on the other version. There's 16 songs on that one.
Yeah.
But man, definitely appreciate it. You're like I said, you're our first guest outside of our our immediate friend group. Appreciate you having you on. Definitely got to do this again sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
So check us out. Oh, we're also gonna just another quick announcement. We'll be at a Kava Lounge on this Friday, April 9th. It's right there on 436. I posted it on Instagram, on my personal Instagram page, and on the No Hangover Instagram page. We'll all be out there, myself, Jacob, Jordan. We'll have merchandise there for sale. You'll be able to talk to us, interact with us, ask us any questions, give us any comments, concerns, anything. If you want to get in our ass for shit that we've said, go ahead.
Bring it.
Honestly. So I hope to see y'all there. Again, my guy.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
D.Law 2 Raw. And as always, everybody love everybody, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bow.
Peace.
Free your mind.
Boom.